Rasher?
Here.
Mr. Page?
Here.
Mrs. Hoover?
She's here or
She's
something?
here.
She stepped out,
Yeah.
she'll be right back, so whenever she come back, we'll just
Present.
make her do a grand entrance, she likes that anyway.
All present.
Let's stand. Do you do our identification, Mr. Rasher, please.
Let's pray. We thank you that at the beginning of a new year, you are with us. We pray, oh God, that your love and grace would bless each home represented here tonight. Give us wisdom, we pray in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I'm gonna let our, new attorney introduce himself to y'all, and the rest of the council up here.
Thank you. My name is Stephen Mansour. I am a new assistant district attorney for Natchitoches Parish. I live in Alexandria, have 4 children, and in private practice, and do governmental work in Rapides Parish. So I'm looking forward to working with all of you, and as soon as I get some cards made, I'll distribute them. Y'all feel free to contact me anytime you have a question.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we're gonna have to go and, need somebody. going
Before we
to
go
the
in
executive
executive session, I have a question I want to ask before we go to executive session.
Yeah.
All right. Mr. President, do you feel disenfranchised by this procedure?
This ROV appointment procedure, Tom?
Yes, sir, this procedure we're going through tonight.
Yes,
Have you made your feelings aware to the DA's office?
yes. Absolutely.
Well then, at this time, I'll make a motion that we ask the DA's office to recuse themselves from this because they are, appointed to represent us as a parish government. And it's apparent that there is a disagreement in the way it's being handled between the council and the president, and how can the DA's office properly represent us and you effectively if we're on 2 different thought patterns here. So I'll make a motion that the DA's office recuse itself from this procedure.
I
Question,
second the motion.
questions, Becca? Just as you say, how did you, that term you used, he was disenfranchised. I wanna say that the process that has been started without this council even being aware of what's going on the selection process, be it the president, be it the district attorney's office, for the action that was taken last month, tried to be taken into hire an individual. I think that it's just not incumbent upon this body. If it's a appointment by the council, that's what it should be, a parish council appointment. If it's not a department head, as president of the parish, I seen many days when we were about to go in executive session, Mr. Nolan ran out of here so quick, it made your head turn. Now, I don't know what the whole process been like. Many people have called my phone and talked about how unfair this process has been, because it looked to me like it was one individual that was targeted to be hired. This has got to stop somewhere. Now, we can proceed with whatever you have put on the table, you and Mr. DeGraffney, but I can certainly tell you that there's many angles that the community is looking at, and they're very not pleased with what has been transpiring, because in the past, if the voter register was leaving office, what has happened for many, many years, they've come right there to that podium and said, I appreciate the time that I've served in this parish and I'm retiring. And then the community be on recognition that this appointment would start the process. That did not occur.
But that's
This
under
was in the
police jurisdiction.
newspaper. Look, this is in the newspaper.
You know, your
or
history
as-
lessons
Well,
are
if you
helpful.
wanna interrupt me, Mr. DeGraffney, I think I have the floor right now. You're welcome to speak when I get done. Now, all I'm simply telling you is that when this process started, we knew nothing of this. Now, you and Mr. Rashad may have known, you probably got a phone call say so. We did not know. I did not know. Now, when we come to the meeting, it's all of a process that we are starting the hiring of a individual to replace Mrs. Wascom that's going out down there. But, you're welcome to have your opinion, and I'm welcome, to express mine. I think I've done so.
May
Thank
I
you.
address?
Yeah.
I appreciate your history lesson. The parish, the home rule charter does not address this specific issue. It's a hole in the charter. It doesn't give us the power to appoint or hire. It doesn't give Mr. Nowen the power to appoint or hire. And I think what was done in good faith. And it was done with an executive making a nomination to the legislative body. And what we agree on is the process, which I hope we're gonna discuss, is flawed. What I think the motion represents is the district attorney's office has co-opted the process by not looking at the whole of the governing authority, which is the parish president and the parish council. It's a bicameral form of government, and we're gonna have to work on some kind of process that doesn't leave anyone out. I also think because the process has been a little flawed, that we might need our own counsel, our own, someone we retain to represent this body.
Okay, well, if that is the case, then we have the councils here tonight, and we have Mr. Mansour here. The council can vote on whether they want to keep him or not, if you think that is the case. He's here, he is a governmental lawyer, that's what he does, and we have the right to vote on this now, all this other time, the DA has been doing everything, and everybody went along with it. Now, all of a sudden, everything changed. And talking about good faith, he didn't include the council at all.
He did.
Okay,
Ms. Hoover, the purpose of my motion was.
oh, I understood the
Hold on,
purpose of
okay,
your
hold on,
motion, I
but-
understood.
all right.
Y'all got together with that motion.
We-
No, hold on.
know
I
how
have the
this
floor,
works.
I have the floor.
No, well, no, you interrupted a conversation
yielded-
that was
you
taking
yielded the floor
place
to me.
between me and DeGraffia.
Okay, the purpose of my motion, for the record to reflect, was the DA's office is our legal counsel at this moment, okay? They represent the parish government as a whole.
Been
Oh,
doing it all the time.
Okay, but this particular issue, there is a division in how we agree
Always have.
on how this is supposed to be handled. So how, by the DA not recusing themselves in this particular matter, I'm not saying the rest of the time, how will they fairly represent the president and the council on a divisive matter? That's why I'm asking for the motion. I've made the motion, it's been seconded, that they recuse themselves from this particular matter, because I don't think that there's gonna be a fair judgment issued in this.
Mr. Rachel, we already know what's going on. We are not dumb on this council to understand what is going on.
Okay, then a
When
motion
this
made
vote go
second,
across
I'll
this
call for a
table,
question.
When
Time
this,
to vote.
when this vote go across this table, what happens?
Okay,
The two of you,
well, that's fine.
you know,
Alright, vote.
Mr. Rashad?
Yes.
Mr. Dub?
Yes.
Mrs. Hoover?
no.
Mr. Page?
No,
Mr. Bedgood?
No.
Okay, now,
okay, we've
Yeah.
had
That's
that
that.
Let
discussion.
me,
I have
before
nothing
y'all,
to do.
wait a minute.
That's all.
Before y'all go any further,
You're not gonna-
I thought we were gonna come in here tonight, be sensible with this, and try to elect the best one for this job. But I knew in my heart before I came that y'all had already got together, and that,
That's what they do.
and so, but whatever it is, it's fine with me.
I have some questions, just
All right.
to determine if we need to go into executive session or not,
We
okay?
fixing to go
Go
into it
ahead,
right
Now,
Go ahead.
did the council ask for a legal opinion, Mr. Attorney? Did the whole council ask for legal opinion as a whole?
Whole council.
The whole country.
A majority of the council?
Mr. Rochelle, this is I just got sworn in about an hour ago.
Okay.
I don't know if the council asked for an opinion about going into the executive session from me or from
Okay,
anybody
okay.
at the D's. I don't know that, I'm sorry.
Okay, who authored the questions to be passed out to us tonight and be asked? Who was the author of these questions?
I made them up and they approved them.
Okay, so the D's office approved the questions?
Mr. Mansell.
I reviewed, she emailed me the questions. I reviewed the questions to determine if there was anything illegal about the questions.
Okay.
I didn't formulate the question. I didn't tell her, other than maybe some grammatical or spelling errors. I didn't tell her whether I thought that the questions were appropriate, inappropriate. I simply told her whether I thought there was any questions that were in violation of the law. I did suggest, in addition to the questions she sent me, that there be a series of questions that followed the statute to delineate the qualifications for the registrar of voter in the statute, that be added to those questions.
Okay.
I did that, copying, I believe verbatim, the statute as far as qualifications.
Is there any evaluation form for objectively evaluating the applicants, each and every applicant? Madam Clerk,
For the state of Louisiana.
is there?
I did the
are
same
there
thing that
any-
they did
Okay.
in,
Okay,
theirs.
so is there an evaluation form
Louisiana.
passed out to us for objectively evaluating each applicant?
I did the same way that they did.
That's either yes or no.
I'm just telling you, I did the same
Okay.
way.
Okay. All right, what's the process of rating each candidate? Is there a process in place tonight?
Ask the president. He rated them, didn't he? Ask him.
I did the
He
same
did.
way
What are
that
we
they
gonna
did.
do?
They know, but
They,
No,
you know, you all need to stop with that.
Okay, whoever this pertains to, what's the process of rating each applicant, each
You
candidate?
asked your president, did you ask him that when you were here last
I have not
month, that you
met
got
him.
up and walked out of here
Okay,
when he was here?
whoever that pertains to.
You asked him, he had 21
Is there,
applicants.
okay, what's the rating
21
process to rate
And
each
came back
applicant?
in here, Mr. Rachel, with one name. Did you ask him these questions that you're asking
No,
tonight?
that's not the plan. Just let
Okay.
him go. Let him finish. Just let him
Mr.
finish. Just-
Nolan is right here, and he can correct me if I'm wrong.
No,
When
y'all
I
cut
was-
him out of this, okay,
Well, no, he's here right now.
well,
Ain't
y'all
no
don't want to
y'all.
get involved in it, that's
No,
personal
y'all.
motion
We
to start
said
with.
y'all.
What are you saying, y'all
What are you
don't?
talking about?
Whoever is
Let
cutting
me
him
tell you
out of
something.
this.
Nobody
No,
cut him out,
no,
the
he
DA
didn't.
said he didn't have the authority.
All right,
When you go
Mr.
into
Russell?
executive session, the executive session is for the council. Not for the president, not for any other
Understand that.
individual. It's who the council
Okay.
want in here.
then I
Now,
make a motion that
I-
whoever's named is named by ordinance and not resolution. I'm making a motion that whoever is named by ordinance and not resolution,
What are you
I'll
talking about now?
second that.
okay?
Well, we know we're gonna second it. We already know what you got.
Okay, there we go, that's where I stand.
Vote on that
Mr.
too.
Rachel.
Yes.
Mr. Dove.
Yes.
Mr. Bedgood.
No.
Mrs. Hoover.
No.
Mr. Page.
No.
So you're gonna make a financial
You
decision
made
by
many of them up here, Mr.
resolution?
DeGraffenby, so don't even try that with
And
me.
we
Look,
gonna have to pull all
let
these
me
records from time
recognize.
before.
Go ahead.
We here tonight, apparently they here to obstruct something. I don't know what they're gonna obstruct, but we here tonight for the district. You know, this type of government would work if you had 5 individuals who represented their district and who come in those doors to represent those 5 districts. But when you got 2 individuals night after night and day after day who's already conspired and given their vote up before we even get in here, you got a problem. And that's where we at in this community. Now, I'm ready to make a motion to let's interview the individuals that we have on here. All this stuff about we need to spend an hour, part 3 and part 5. Let me tell you something. This is nothing new. We need to interview these people and be fair about the process, not lock it in for one individual, and then we need to move forward in this parish. Now, the bottom line of this is, I would say, far as I'm concerned, I would like to see the council, the clerk, and our attorney be in this meeting, because we're not here to hinder for one individual to get this position. So let's move forward. I would like to make a motion that we start the process of interviewing the candidates that we have tonight. And I would say that we have the council only, the clerk, and the district attorney's office.
Okay.
This is not a parish employee. This is a state employee. So it does not pertain to Mrs. Kramer per se. So that's where we at as the selection process should begin tonight.
Okay, let me ask a question. We have 3 applicants here tonight? 4
How many?
applicants? 5, okay. Were each one of you notified in writing 24 hours before tonight that we're going to executive session to discuss your name?
Well,
Okay,
they're
hold on,
here
hold on.
tonight and they're either.
Title 42.17 says, discussion of the character, profession, comfort, physical, mental health of a person, provided that such person notified in writing was 24 hours, exclusive Saturday, Sundays, legal holidays. If y'all were not notified, this is not legal.
Mr.
You all were
Hold
not
on.
contacted
In
at
writing,
all?
Look.
in writing.
I was called.
Look,
Okay.
Okay, then we're about to
Look.
law.
Called.
look,
I was called and told to, for my.
Mr. Bedgood, in the order, have the attorney answer this. Anytime you go in an executive session, it's up to the individual who is in executive session if they want to go into executive session. Now, all this malarkey he's throwing out here is just trying to obstruct for one individual, basically.
Mr. Counsel,
And we need to stop that.
Does the law
Now,
not state 47:15 that they shall be notified in writing 24 hours prior to going to executive session? They will be discussed in executive session. Does it not say that?
They were called and then
Notified.
they
That's why
were
they need-
notified
In writing.
They were notified by
In
way
writing.
of the official journal,
I tell you what, we
Yeah,
I'm
need
not
to
worried about
Sure.
official, nothing worried about keeping my butt out
So,
court.
well,
Okay, now,
if the 21 people wanna come
Best
forward.
thing to do, let's go to court. That's what y'all
That's
want to
right.
do.
That's right.
Oh, well, let's get there.
That's right.
Let's get there.
Now, as long as we
Fine
go
with me.
and do it the correct
I'm
way,
sick of
because
your
apparently,
bullshit anyway.
apparently somebody's trying to obstruct it to let so many days run out, and then they
Exactly.
take an apartment for whoever, the radio station or the
No.
newspaper, whoever they take the apartment from. This foolishness must stop.
I'm gonna let the attorney speak, and then we're gonna vote to go into
Fine,
executive
sir.
session.
Now, if the individuals that do not care to go in executive session, they can choose not to. And then if a letter need to be sent to where they add on to the next 5 on the following day, that can be done so. If you have some questions about some legality here, you never question legality when you're sitting here, we
does it
vote
state in writing?
2 to 2
He's
is,
right. Chris is right.
Okay, but if they wanna go into executive session, they wasn't notified properly, correct?
Well, if they don't
That-
want
that's
to
if
go,
they- if they wanna have an
if they
attorney
don't
with
wanna
them.
go
Well, that's right.
into executive session, then they can leave. And
Exactly.
those that want to go into executive can stay, and the letter will be sent to that person that do not wanna go into executive session this time, and she can come back the next time by way of letter within 24 hours. So we need to find out who all want to stay for the executive session.
Will you verbally tell us about that?
The statute that you handed me does say that a public body may hold an executive session
May.
pursuant to 42:16 for one of the more of the following reasons. Discussion of character, professional competence, or physical or mental health of a person, provided that such person is notified in writing at least 24 hours exclusive of Saturdays, Sundays, and legal holidays before the scheduled time contained in the notice of the meeting at which executive session is to take place, and that such person may require that such discussion be held at an open meeting.
So you can do it all.
So it's up to the individual if they
The
want to.
individual can
That's right,
choose
they
not to
can
go into
discuss
executive
if they
session.
want to. You ain't playing with somebody that don't know, idiots. I mean, now, one thing for sure, let me tell you something. I've got several phone calls this week on individuals that we voted on an individual and their name should not appear again. And maybe some of this will calm down.
Well, also says in open meeting laws that the exception does not apply to any discussion related to the appointment or reappointment of an individual to public body or the award of public contract. So it says we can't go to executive session to appoint anyone either.
Well, we can have it open, it's up to them.
Well,
They want to,
and
they want to interview open.
we're not
they
appointing
can.
anybody, all we're doing is interviewing
It says to
tonight.
discuss. It says to any discussion related to the
They can,
appointment.
if they want to, for those who want, if they want to go open, do it openly, we can do it openly. So it's up to the applicants.
Well,
Would you-
let me see the first one.
And am I?
You don't have a vote in the matter, I mean, personally.
Go ahead and do what y'all want to do. I mean, I'm stating my opposition to it.
And that, my question, they have the option, the applicants have the option, whether they want to go into executive
hold on.
session or,
Would you like to go into executive session with you, or do you want an open meeting? That's up to
I'm
you.
open. I'm here,
you
I
have to say
can,
You're the first applicant. Oh,
yes, I can stand openly.
open, okay?
it's open.
Because she want to be open, okay?
Yeah.
Go. And Mr. Biggood, and this just a suggestion, since all of them are here, you can just ask all of them one by one and we'll know, and we'll have that out of the way, other than having them to sit here if they decide that they don't want to.
Yeah, Miss Tibbetts,
This is such a shame.
she here?
And Miss Tibbetts, she's not here?
Member Van?
I'd like a point of clarification.
Ma'am, I couldn't hear you.
I'd like a point of clarification. Is that, or has it been determined that all interviews have to be done in open meeting?
Take your question to the attorney.
I can't.
I don't think
I'm
that's
sorry,
the question.
I hear it.
They're saying that they're saying to stop the process of going into executive session. Right now, we're dealing with the fact that if any individual would like to stay and keep the meeting open or go into executive session, that's the choice they have.
I'm asking if it has been determined whether or not all interviews will have to be conducted in open meeting. It's not
It's
fair
a
to the
You can
four
have
of
them all
us
in.
who have been sitting
We
here.
got 9.
How can you got a fairness issue going right now. You can't have candidates listening to questions and answers.
Exactly.
You know, you've
That's
got
what
to
we're
have
trying to do.
some kind
But
of,
apparently, some folks that got together and concocted another.
So everybody wanna go into executive session? Those that want
Sometimes
to
in an
stay.
interview, personal information comes out, and if
Yeah.
it's in an open meeting, it will be open record. And this may not be, you know,
Exactly.
you know, the person being
That's the
interviewed may
person.
feel comfortable telling you this information, but having it blasted, you know, in open record, you know, open meetings, is a different ballgame.
So you wanna go in, so we can go into executive session. Kathy, would you like to go into executive session?
but wait a
And I
minute, we
mean,
can't do interviews in
I'm not until
executive
next,
session.
I'm not
Yes, you
until
can.
next
We
time.
can.
Yes, you can.
The-
We've
the
done it for
attorney
years.
is there.
Yes, you can.
Can
Yes,
we
you can.
go, can
We've
we
hired many of people like that. Yes, we
let the
can, right
attorney
there.
answer that question? Could you please answer that question for us, please?
Yes, you can conduct interviews in executive session. You can have a discussion about the interviewees in executive session. but you cannot vote in
In
executive session.
executive session, whatever, when you come out, you just claim it, it's something that you
I make
voted
a
on.
motion that we go into executive session.
Is that the understanding of all applicants that's here? That they would prefer to do that?
An applicant can choose not to have their interview done in executive session.
That's right. I second the motion to go into executive session.
Can I ask a question real quick before the vote's cast? What majority are we looking for to go into executive session?
Majority.
2/3,
2/3.
according to open meeting laws, 2/3.
Look, we're
No,
not gonna
no,
change
no,
rules
no,
up as we
no.
go. Here we
Don't
go
even-
again.
don't even start.
These people here, I don't even know why y'all come up here. You're already
That's a
committed
shame.
your souls to the
That's a
devil.
shame.
Good Lord, man. this is-
Majority.
Open meeting laws states
Well,
specifically
whatever,
2/3,
whatever.
66.6.
You don't know about no open meeting, nothing.
Mr. Hoover,
Yes.
Go ahead.
Mr. Page,
Yes.
Mr. Bedgood,
Yeah.
Mr. Rushing,
No.
Mr. Doug,
No.
You know, you had a discussion out in the community that you wasn't coming. You might have not should have came. Thank you.
And they gonna get up and walk out. What's gonna happen?
No.
Okay. Going into executive session.
Okay, and within that executive session, who is to stay in the executive session? That's what we should come to grips with. Whether it's the council, the clerk, and the district attorney's office. I think that's the fair way. No, we need you here as the clerk for our records. And the district attorney for whatever legal.
Mr. Chairman, thank you for recognizing me. I sat here and listened to certain individuals attack me, to make statements that I run out whenever there's an executive session, and other general statements that this process conducted by my office was intended to get one individual appointed to a certain position. It was intended to get one individual, but that individual was not identified until the completion of the process, and the people on the evaluation committee were polled as to who they favored, and the consensus favored the person who was appointed and rejected by the council. I would like to read a very brief statement into the council into the record before I leave.
Come on down in here.
I would like to read a very brief statement of my position into the record before I leave. And I'll provide a written copy to the clerk in the morning.
Okay, well, let me say this, before you do it, let the attorney finish right there what he's doing so that he can hear what we're saying. Our attorney, Mr. Mansour?
Yeah.
Mansour?
Yeah.
The president is speaking, and we would like for you to hear what he is saying, so we'll know where to go from here.
Ma'am, I'm sorry. That's okay, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, just state what you said before.
Yeah, before I leave, I'd like to read this brief statement and bear with me. The Parish Council has issued calls for 2 special meetings to be held on January 3 and January 7, 2019 for the purpose of interviewing applicants for the position of the Parish Registrar of Voters. Please accept this statement of my continued problem with the apparent procedure of the council that is decided to follow. The primary reasons include, but are not limited to, the following. 1, as I stated on December 17th, the elimination of any role by the parish president in the process results in the president not being able to perform his lawful role under the Home Rule Charter form of government. 2, the appointment of a registrar of voters by a resolution rather than an ordinance violates the Home Rule Charter provisions that all operating budget expenditures must be approved by ordinances duly enacted by the parish. The appointment of a registrar of voters by resolution includes the commitment of financial resources from future parish government budgets without proper authorization by an ordinance. 3, the language in one section of the Constitution that defines the parish governing authority as the legislative body of the parish does not consider the recent creation of the Home Rule Charter governments wherein an elected president is part of the local governing authority. That language must be taken in context of the entire Constitution, state laws, and authority granted by Home Rule Charters. And 4th, at the meeting on December 17th, I offered to work with the council to reach a mutually acceptable resolution to the conflict regarding the selection of the new registrar. The announced council process does not appear to be aimed at reaching an amicable solution of the conflict. While we have great respect for the staff of the DA's office and appreciate the work that they do for the parish, we respectfully hold a different opinion in this matter. Thank you very much.
I disagree with all of that.
Make a motion that we go into executive session, I think we're there.
Mr.
Waiting
Counsel,
on-
can you expound on what we just talked about, Rick?
The Opens meeting law does require to go into executive session. It has to be approved by 2/3 of the members present.
Which would be 3.3 of 5, correct? That's 66.6%, so therefore we can't go into open, executive session and not legally.
I don't know that y'all had a vote.
We did vote.
We did vote.
It's 3-2.
3-2. So therefore, I will not part of the illegal meeting. They can have it, I'm gonna be out in the hall with the public. I will not
So
go to
it's
court
a
and
vote?
get sued. I will go as a witness.
So it's a vote?
I mean,
So
we
it's
don't
4
get
votes
executive
that we need?
Yep.
2/3 of the members present.
Well, we need to get it.
I tell you, the best thing we need to do is just close this meeting out tonight
Look,
and let the
get a
DA
lawyer
hold on.
give us that decision.
Okay.
And give a lawyer,
And
and
that's
have a
fine.
lawyer.
Look,
We need to sue the president.
We'll come back Monday night
well,
and we'll get a hearing from him.
within the findings, I've had several phone calls that we voted on Mrs. Vance already, and they would like to see her name removed from this list. And
I thought
And
you
I
were
second the
starting over.
motion.
that
We
could be.
started with
good.
9.
I mean, what we adjourned tonight.
Well,
Starting the whole
hold on,
process,
hold
the
on,
whole process
hold on.
was 21.
While he's investigating, the district attorney's looking in this, see, is that also something that's unfair to the people of this community, that we voted on it once, there's no reason to bring it back up again. Now, we know how people feel.
I
Now, I
suggest
was
you
told-
give the
I was
DA a
told-
written request
Well, we
stating
can do that.
specifically all the questions you'd like him to answer. That's only fair.
Okay.
Now,
If we're starting all over
then you
with the
should,
top ones, then I have no problem putting her in. Myself,
All 21?
no.
The total.
The top 9, if y'all wanna go with all 21, we'll go with all 21.
But the whole thing of it is, in the meantime of this process, since we understand the issues that Mr. Nile and the president brought to the table last month, was, we cannot say that it's been to start the process of 30 days. Because legally, we got a problem here, plain and simple.
And what they're trying to do is they know what's gonna happen.
Okay, I need a motion to
I make a
adjourn.
motion to adjourn.
Let's second.
Mr. Pressure,
Go ahead.
Mr. Very Good,
Yes.
Mrs. Warren,
Yeah.
Mr. Page.
Yes.
I have to say one thing before I go, off record. I am disappointed in you two.
Then don't run again.
There's nothing,
It's great.
well, you
No,
run again. I hope you run again. I hope
No,
you
the people
do.
want him to run, believe that.
I hope you do. I want you to
Big
run.
people in the run.
Yeah.
Can I say something?
Yes, sir. I'm sorry.
If y'all want an opinion, if you would, I appreciate if y'all could do it in writing, so, I can be prepared
Let me-
for questions.
Okay, let me ask you a question, because when I was chairman, I asked in his office,